Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast, and I'm just checking in on you. Sorry, I'm losing my voice as always as I continue my way through. The first leg of the tour is over. I did Dublin, Belfast, and Galway, Ireland, and I could not have had a better time. Caught a little bit of a cold, but, that's what happens when you go out, you have a couple of pops or whatever, and you didn't dress properly because you thought, August and July over here was going to be fucking warm as shit like it is where I live. It isn't. Rains a lot. It's kind of cold, and I was run down, so I got a little bit of a cold, but I'm all right. But I don't think I had done Belfast by Monday. I don't think I did it. Maybe I was just going up there. I can't remember, but I got to tell you about Belfast. Fucking amazing, right? I go up there, and I was playing. I wasn't aware of it. The place I was playing was Ulster Hall, which is that's the first place. Led Zeppelin played it, and that's the first place they ever played Stairway to Heaven live. So I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So, of course, I Googled that, and there's some bootleg audio of it. And the band actually said the song didn't go over that well. Sounded like they liked it enough, although the person recording it was kind of talking during some of it. And I found some pictures from when they did the gig there, and there he is, John Bonham, sitting right on the fucking stage. And then, of course, I had to look up AC/DC, and 1979 they played there with Bon Scott. And a lot of these places you play, by the time, I come around to them, it's literally 40 years after these people that I love played them, so they usually redid the place, and it doesn't look the same. Ulster Hall, they had not redone the stage. So I literally, when I walked up on the stage, got the fucking chills. Couldn't believe it. So, I don't know. The only way to describe the people in Belfast is you have to go there. Even if you didn't even know any of the history, like, the second you get there, you're there for about 3 to 4 seconds before you're like, you know what? I'm not fucking with anybody up here. The guy, I swear to God, the guy who was running Ulster Hall, one of them was like really nice, but this, just regular, hey, how you doing? Really cool guy. But the other guy was also a cool guy, but I cannot describe his vibe other than to say if he was in a movie, he would instantly be like a legend. Like, I don't think it's been a long time since I met somebody. I can't explain the guy's vibe, but I just knew that, once again, the second I met him, I was like, this guy has seen a bunch of shit. This guy's not to be fucked with. And it was, I don't know, it was just a really, really, anytime you go to a new city, it's so cool just to see all this new stuff. And when you go there, and that's such a fucking unique vibe. I never felt like a vibe in that in my life. And then I get to play this legendary place. And, dude, the guy running the place, I swear to God, he should have been in one of those great guy movies, one of those gangster movies. He just had that vibe like, oh, this is the guy. This is the guy. If I piss this guy off, I'm going to get fucking whacked. That was literally the vibe, right? So I go on stage, and I'm up there. My shit's, for the most part, is working. And at one point, I'm doing some stupid bit, and I'm using, like, American sports references. And it's like the second night in a row, they're not fucking working. So I finally just say to the crowd, I just go, all right. And I go, obviously, these are American sports, references. You guys don't know what I'm talking about, or you don't give a fuck. I go, I was trying to talk about a great player. So I go, so who's your best football/soccer player? Who's like, the greatest of all time? And this guy in the crowd said, Will Griggs. And I was like, who, Will Gregg? And they're like, no, Will Griggs. I go, fine, Will Griggs. And then they all cheered, right? And I was like, all right, now I got the right guy. So I continue doing my bits, and anytime I need a sports pick, I'm throwing out Will Griggs, right? And then there was something about the way they were laughing and the fact that I got picked on so much as a kid that it started to feel familiar. And I started thinking in my head, like, wait a minute. Are they fucking with me right now? So, of course, After like a fucking half hour, I'm making a complete asshole of myself. Keep using Will Griggs' fucking name like he's the second coming of Pele. I finally look at the crowd and I go, wait a minute, are you guys just fucking with me? Is this guy a really good player, or are you guys just making me look like a fucking... Is he just a piece of shit and you think it's funny to say his name? Not a piece of shit, just a journeyman guy. And they all laughed and applauded that I figured it out. And what I loved is after they did that, I was like, these motherfuckers got me again. They're like the best hecklers or this is what killed me, is after I figured out that they just sat there and were content, totally content, to sit there and watch me not figure it out or figure it out, make an ass of myself, or eventually redeem myself. Either way, it was going to be entertaining to them. I really looked at the crowd, and it was people of all fucking ages. I'm telling you, the Irish sense of humor, man. It's every time I fucking go over there. I told you the last time I went over there, I'm just going like, oh yeah, you know, I didn't come from a touchy-feely family. My parents, you know, my mother wasn't a big hugger, never really hugged me, blah, blah, blah. I was working to something else. It wasn't the point. I couldn't even get past that. The whole crowd just goes, oh. I know these are old stories, but I got to give you a refresher just so you understand what happens to me every time I go over there. And then also, I remember I was giving out free autographed DVDs because I wanted them to play them for their friends, so hopefully I would draw more people. And I'm literally at the end of my act. Thank you so much for coming out. I brought some DVDs. I autographed them. They're free. Please just take one, blah, blah. And I'm in the middle of just saying I'm giving you a free fucking DVD that I lugged over there from the other side of the world. I'm in the middle of it, and this guy in the back, I just hear this guy go, oh, fuck off. It just, I don't know. They're fucking great. So anyway, so I figured that one out. I wanted to see the Peace Walls when I was up in Belfast, and it got too late at night, and we were driving a nice car, and the tags clearly showed that we were from, I guess, you know, the Catholic side or whatever. So they were just like, yeah, we don't need to be driving by that wall. So maybe next time. And then also there's something weird about all the pain and suffering that everybody went through up there that you fucking would want to drive by it and like fucking rubberneck and take pictures and shit. I always feel disrespectful when I do shit like that. All right. Minimize the crazy. All right. Love the podcast. Bill, I listen to it at the gym because it's really motivating. Not really, just good to hear someone talking shit rather than listening to the constant grunting and self-praise you hear in gyms. I'm in Australia, and I'm in my early 30s, and I need to break up with a crazy chick. Oh, Jesus, this is always difficult. It's not difficult, I'll tell you right now. The degree of difficulty is greatly increased if you're living with her, obviously. All right, if you're not living with her, I can tell you exactly how you do it. All right? And I would be, I can't tell you. I'd have to tell you to have Al Madrigal do it. Al Madrigal, I should have him on the podcast. He had the greatest fucking way ever of breaking up with a girlfriend. And I feel like it's his story to tell. So now that I got you all fucking interested, oh, fuck you. I'll make up for it here. Let me read this real quick. All right. I need to break up with a crazy chick, and I'm hoping to minimize the property damage or stalking that usually comes along with the crazy. Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you set up some security little cameras, catch her damaging your property, and for once, report a woman damaging a guy's fucking property after a breakup, and maybe she'll actually have to fucking pay for it. All these videos of these chicks just destruction of property does not apply to a female? I don't understand it. Anyways, he goes, I would normally just do it in a public place and then go into hiding for a few weeks with all of my possessions under lock and key. But this is different. But this time it's different. We've been together for a bit over a year, and when I first met her, I thought she was perfect, but it all changed. About 9 months into it, her sister-in-law was caught drink driving with her 15-month-old daughter in the car. And as a result, the kid was taken off both parents until one of them could prove to be a fit parent. Oh, my God. They took it away from both of them? Wow. All right. Her brother / the kid's father has always been a fit parent, but in Australia, the authorities have a preference for the mother, so he had to go through the bullshit to get his daughter back. Yeah, jeez, every fucking law, it seems. When this happened, we put our hand up to take care of the kid, and the kid and the girl moved in with me for a bit over 12 weeks. Having the kid around was fucking awesome, and because of our work schedule, I got to spend a lot of time with the kid and loved every minute of it. My girlfriend, however, wasn't very keen on it right from the start, which made it pretty clear that we want different things, and the situation also brought out the crazy in a pretty big way. She tended to be angry with me every morning over shit that I couldn't do anything about, such as her job. And on top of that, became extremely jealous that her ex had a new girlfriend. Normally this would be the kind of thing that would make me walk, but we were looking after the kid. Now the kid is back with her father, and it's time for the breakup. I'm pretty sure she's the type of crazy that would resort to property damage before physical violence, and I'm trying to reduce this. The only issue I see, aside from the crazy, is that she still has a few things in my house, and there are a few things that belong to the kid left here. Portable cot, clothes, and toys. Any strategies you can think of would be great. All right, you know what? You need the Al Madrigal advice, and he's not here. This is Al Madrigal's... This is how he did it. I'm giving him total credit here. When Al had to break up with the woman, and he made the decision, you know, before he went over to her apartment, he would get a box, and he would take all of her belongings that were in his apartment, put them in the box, and then come over, holding the box, and the woman opens the door and is like, what the fuck? And then you immediately... Oh, and I think he already changed the locks, too. That's another thing, too. Change the fucking locks, and which you can easily do just with a different deadbolt. That's just a couple of screws. Just do that, and usually, you know, that's no big deal. I guess down below is a couple of two. Well, it's no big deal. Just change the fucking locks, put everything in a box, then you go over to her place, you sit down, and you just say it's fucking over, blah, blah, blah. They flip out. They want to break something that are in their house. That's it. Fucking over. If you have anything in her apartment of value, I would get that first, and then I would do the rest of it. But there really should be, you know, with all these things now that they're complaining that men do, like anything from fucking like mansplaining, man-spreading and all that, all these fucking feminist groups up and down the fucking street about the shit that we're doing. Do any of them address the ridiculous level of destruction of property that women do to guys when they break up with them? Or even if they get caught fucking around. Okay, he fucked around on you. That does not give you the right to key the guy's car. I mean, you can do it, but you should go to jail. You should have to pay for it. It should go on your fucking record. But guys always just like, I just want to just make it go away. Just make it. They make like YouTube videos of themselves fucking destroying property. So that might be something else you want to look into. Dude, if this chick's crazy, I would just go total CIA on her. Go over there without her knowing. Just take back, first of all, you're going to have to leave some troops behind. Couple pairs of sneakers, got to go Willem Dafoe platoon here. All right, but if you got some, I don't know, a fucking iPad or some shit like that, you need to grab that shit. Get that shit the fuck out of there. You have some sort of nerd friend or a friend who knows a nerd. They wire, like, you got fucking cameras and all that shit. You got that going. Change your fucking locks, box up the shit, go over there, drop the fucking hammer. If you're worried that this woman's going to get physical with you, I would do that, and I would break up with her in a public place, because I don't know how it works in Australia, but here in America, a woman can take out a machete, chop a guy's head off, and then sue the surviving family members for the blister on her hand that she got when she swung the fucking thing through his head. So, good luck to you. Be careful, and I hope it all works out for you. When I last left yous, when I checked in on you on Thursday, I had just gone to Bristol, England, the place where those ants were crawling all over the chocolate cake. I had a great time there, great show. And then I went to legendary Manchester, England. And I got to be honest with you, that was the one out of all the shows that I'm doing on this tour, that was the one that I was concerned about. I'm like, all right, this is Manchester, Man United, Man City, the fucking hooligans and all of this shit. And the only thing I knew about them was that book that I read. I can't remember if I brought this up Thursday. I read that book, Among the Thugs, where there was an old American journalist. He was considered old. He was in his 30s. He was considered a good geezer. And he somehow infiltrated them. And just some of the violence that they fucking talked about when they were over there. I remember some of the fucking stories. Do you know there was something that... I'm not saying that this was specifically done in Manchester, but Manchester was only the only soccer city that I knew. I didn't even know, or football as they say. Like Liverpool to me was the Beatles. And meanwhile, the Liverpool team, before Manchester started, went on their run. Up until about 1990, had won more championships than anybody, and I had no fucking idea. But anyways, I guess one of the things these fucking hooligans used to do is they'd have a box cutter, a razor or some shit, right? And they have it so fucking sharp that they'd come up behind the supporter of another club when they were standing up waiting to go in, and they'd slash right across your ass, horizontally. And it was so sharp it would go right through your fucking pants, slash right across both butt cheeks. All right, and was done so quick. By the time the person realized what was going on, the other person had taken off. And here's the fucking thing: it cut deep enough that you needed stitches to close it. All right, and the reason why they did it there was so then while you're waiting for like a week. I'm trying to remember when I used to get stitches, and depending on how bad it was anywhere from 3-4 days to like a week later they took it out. Basically, you couldn't sit down or you'd pull the stitches out. So you can't sit down, you can't sleep on your back, and God forbid, you got to take a dump. What do you do? And I was thinking you'd have to get in that, that yoga position, the table position. It's basically, I don't know. Just imagine trying to make yourself a table facing up. You'd have to do that and put a bucket underneath you. And then you can't tell me, oh, God, just, during the process of that, it's not hurting. I mean, the fucking misery of that is unbelievable. And I mentioned that to somebody when I was up there. And then they talked about how another thing that they would do is they realized that, if you cut someone with the box cutter, they could stitch it up. So then what they did was they put two blades side by side that were far enough apart that when you slashed the person, there wasn't any way for the doctor to stitch it up. They had to glue it up because the space was too big. Just some fucking sadistic shit. So anyways, among other fucking really gross things that I read. So in my head, I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is this is gonna be like a Philly show with box cutters. And it was the exact opposite. It was great, and I got to be honest with you, it felt like a show in Boston. I really felt some sort of weird connection with the sound of the crowd. It's weird. Every crowd sounds a little bit different. And they had that working class, blue collar, sucker punched in a bar fucking vibe, that I grew up in. Now, I was no tough guy. I just grew up there. So I used to see the violence and try to get the fuck away from it. Like I said, I basically fought other kids up until about 6th grade. I had a bunch of baby fat, so I was in a higher weight class. Then all of a sudden I thinned out. And I was one of the scrawnier kids. And then my fighting career abruptly ended with a couple of ass kickings. And I was like, all right, why don't we try being funny from here on out? So after that, people just kept getting bigger and the injuries got worse. People laying on the floor of the bars, someone's repeatedly kicking them in the head, teeth getting knocked out. And I was just like, yeah, I don't want to do that to somebody. And I definitely don't want that done to me. So I'm going to start... I utilized my footwear a lot when I was younger. Walking away, running away, skipping away, whatever the fuck I had to do. Not interested. So anyways, after I did Manchester, then I had my big shows in London, and at the Hammersmith Apollo. And I went and I was talking about all the bands that had played in Manchester, and one of the guys working on the tour used to run that building, and he saw everybody from when the Stone Roses first came out, Red Hot Chili Peppers, all those bands from that era all played there. So when I went to the Hammersmith one, I decided to look up to see who the fuck is played there. I mentioned a few of them. I thought it was Manchester on Thursday, but it was actually the one in London. Like Ziggy Stardust, that character, David Bowie, I thought he retired at the Manchester Apollo. It was London. And also Iron Maiden did their, they had a live, let's see if I can find it here. What is it? Beast over Hammersmith. And that was in 1982. It was a sold-out show on that stage. And one of the coolest fucking things ever, that's when Clive Burr, who shares my last name, I should say I share it with him, he actually played there. Just fucking amazing drummer. But I went to look up all of these. I hope I'm not boring you guys with this shit, but this is the fucking history of that place. All right, 1950s. All right, this is the Apollo in London. On March 25th, 1958, Buddy Holly performed 2 shows at the venue. These were his last shows ever in the United Kingdom. In the 60s, Tony Bennett with Count Basie, Ella Fitzgerald with Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong. The Beatles did 38 shows over 21 nights between 1964, late 64 and early 65. Johnny Cash in 66. Eric Clapton with the Yardbirds. What else do we got? I'll just kind of fly through these here. Queen, Freddie fucking Mercury, the greatest frontman ever. Elton John. Oh, God, there's a bunch of kids next door. I hope you can't hear that. Bruce Springsteen, Neil Young. Kiss made their first UK appearances in 1976. They sold out 2 shows in 2 hours. Genesis, back when they were like this prog rock band. Rory Gallagher, Carlos Santana. It just goes on and on and on and on. There's another great one. Black Sabbath played there in 78. Jesus Christ, these fucking people are trying to come in my room. Black Sabbath played there in 78, and their support act, their opening act, was Van Halen touring on their first album. Can you imagine if you fucking went to that show? I don't know. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. You can scroll through all of this if you just look it up. Hammersmith Apollo, London. And then one of the coolest ones I saw as far as stand-up comedians who performed there, in 2010, the great Billy Connolly played there. This fucking guy sold out 20 shows from July 5th to July 31st. Oh, by the way, Led Zeppelin, when they announced that they were going to have their reunion, a press conference for the premiere of Celebration Day. They did it there. So in 2012, talked to the press. That's how big their press conferences are. It's like most people's, concerts. So there's a picture of Plant, Page, and John Paul Jones on stage. It's pretty fucking killer. So anyways, all right, I'm done geeking out here, but I want to thank everybody who came out to those shows. The first night was amazing. The light was a little bit in my eye on the first night, so I couldn't quite see anybody. And they kind of fixed it the second night. And as great as the first night was, the second night might have been one of the best shows I've ever had. And I remember thinking before I went out there, I'm like, who knows if I ever get to come back. So make it count. Don't go out there like a fucking pussy or something. I forget what happened. And a number of people were talking about all the heckles I got during the show. That did not even remotely bother me. I didn't find any of them to be malicious or anything like that. I just feel like I say a lot of dumb shit when I'm on stage. And I just feel like, it makes people want to like yell some shit. I actually got to spend a day in London, which was great. Because I was there for 2 nights. And I also finally got to drive and see a lot of England. Absolutely gorgeous country. And so Hyde Park is like their Central Park, and I just went in there, walked around. I always look at Royal Albert Hall because I'm telling you, one of these days I'm going to play there. Right? I'm going to do a show there, God willing. If not, I'm going to see a show there. But if I do play there, I can guarantee you I'm going to rent a drum kit again during the day. I already talked to the promoter. I was like, can I rent a drum kit? Can I go in there, put on some headphones, and just fucking play to Led Zeppelin? Because that was one of Bonham's, I don't know, I think it's some of the greatest live footage of him ever, is their performance at Royal Albert Hall. And he was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. No problem, mate. So that's definitely a bucket list thing for me. So I always go there, and I just forget about dreaming about playing that place. Just to look at it, if you Google a picture of Royal Albert Hall, it's just it looks like it's something out of the Roman Empire. I know it was made in like the 1850s or 60s or something, but it's just an absolutely incredible venue. And I told you that time I don't know when it was, like 2009 or 10 or something like that. I took a tour of it with Nia, and Nia didn't want to go because she said it was going to be boring as shit. And we got there, and it was boring as shit. But then when we went to go check out, like, they brought us out on the mezzanine level. We got to sit down in one of the suites. And right as we were sitting down, like, the London Philharmonic was like practicing for that night's performance. And it was like they were waiting for us. Like, right as we sat down, they started playing, and it was one of the most beautiful things I ever heard in my life. Nia immediately, she puts her hand over her mouth, starts tearing up and all that, and all I could think was like, you know what, now would have been a great time to ask her to marry me. That would have been but how the fuck did I know that was going to happen? So instead, I waited till we went to White Castle. No, I'm kidding. Anyways. So then last night, I got to walk around all Hyde Park, and it's really incredible that just the sheer size of that. And they have a bunch of parks, way more so than Manhattan as far as like the size of them and everything. And just a really, it actually seemed like there was enough space for everybody. And then after that, I went over to Amsterdam the next day, flew out. Oh, Jesus, I forgot the whole other part of the story. Sorry. My brain is even more all over the place because I've been flying all over the place. So, and I just did a show in the afternoon, and I'm still jet lagged. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing here. So I apologize if this is more scatterbrained than usual. But so after my second show in London, I was just, I could not have done a better job on that one. I was so fucking thrilled. Thank Christ. And then I deliberately booked myself in a hotel. I usually stay wherever the fuck, I don't care. But this hotel actually had a cigar bar in it. And I learned that from Cigar Aficionado. They got this thing called Places to Smoke. So if you're traveling, just look it up, and they will tell you the place to go. And I went there with the person who was the tour manager. And it was just me and him. And we went in there. It was funny when we first came in. They were like, "Oh, we're sorry, we don't have any seats," because we walked in looking like a couple of fucking rubes, you know. Had my baseball hat on and shit, all sweaty from the show. We just looked like two fucking assholes. So I just said, like, yeah, we don't. I knew what he was doing. He saw me coming in with my stupid potato face, all fucking sweaty from the show, my dumb Tiger Woods beat up golf hat. And he was just like, "I'm sorry, sir, we do not have any fucking blah, 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 blah." And I was just like, dude. I said dude, which really made him stop for a second. I was like, I booked myself in this hotel specifically so I could smoke here. And he goes, "Well, you can sit at the bar, maybe you did that." So I fucking go upstairs, drop my shit off. By the time I got downstairs, they had a table because I think the fucking the tour manager guy said something. So, you know, we were able to sit down. You know what was fucking hilarious too? This is what's hilarious. There were plenty of seats. Fucking assholes. You know, they saw me coming in looking like old sickly Ron Howard. They were like, "Fuck this guy. This guy's not bringing any ass or money in here." Yeah, beat it. Go get yourself a snow cone, you fucking freckled mess. Oh, we're sorry. You're spending money here. Okay. Yo, by the way, there's 40 empty two-tops. Where did they come from? Well, when you went upstairs for 2 minutes, all of a sudden everybody left. It was the greatest. And the tour manager didn't smoke cigars, but said he wasn't adverse to doing it. And greatest feeling ever, right? He sat down, and he was smoking it, and he was just going, and he's gradually getting more and more into it. And I was happy to see that he was liking it. Then I was also nervous, like, fuck, did I just give somebody a cigar habit? But he was just like, I forget what he's saying. "This is brilliant. This is lovely." And I go, "Yeah, this is what it is." Everybody thinks it's like smoking a cigarette. Cigarette smokers are animals. They're junkies. They run outside in the rain. They're fucking standing next to dumpsters. They're sitting on stoops. Animals. sucking it into their lungs. You know? I need another one, need another one, need another one. No. Cigar, it's for gentlemen. You know, you sit down, you shoot the shit, you break each other's balls, you solve the world's problems. You don't really, but you feel like you do. It's fucking tremendous. I guess it's kind of like cocaine, right? Isn't that what happens when you do cocaine? You think everybody's a good shit, and then you figure out how to run the world. Then you get all paranoid like a dictator, and then, I don't know, somebody overdoses and everybody runs out of the room. I don't know. I always stayed out of that world. Big thank you to everyone who came out to my show last night. You hear that, kid? In Holland, Amsterdam. Unfortunately, I literally landed, did the show, and then had to leave. I barely went by the Van Gogh Museum, just saw it, didn't get to go in, and I don't know. Would have been great to hang. Such a great city, but I didn't get a chance to. Thanks to everybody who came out when I went through England. It's just been a great tour, and so far, 1 out of 4 shows is done here in Scotland, and the first one was as fun a show as you can have at 4 o'clock in the afternoon as possible. So that's it. I'll check in on you on Thursday. Go fuck yourselves. I'll see you. I'll read a few advertisements here, and when I'm done stuttering over the live reads, I got to talk to you about, like, during this time of the year in London, a bunch of Arabs come in to vacation who have, like, tons, like, basically, as far as I could tell, limitless amounts of money. And they're coming in from the Middle East because it's just so fucking hot. So they holiday, as they say out here, in London, and they fly in on a cargo plane all of their supercars. The only reason why I found this out is because I've never seen it. I was like, is there a car show here or something like that? And then I just started asking around. I mean, just one fucking Lamborghini, one Ferrari, crazy Mercedes. Fuck it. You know what? Fuck the advertising. I got to tell you about this shit. Like, I've never seen anything like it. It was like Ferrari Californias, the Spiders, and then all these crazy colors. Like, there's one fucking dude over there. Look, first, let me just read about how they get their shit there, if I can find it. Oh, you stupid cunt, Bill. Did you really just mess that up? Hang on, I got to hit pause. I don't want to fuck this up. Oh, no, I have it. I have it here. Okay, here it is. So, you know, all these people at the hotel were saying, no, these people come in, they fly their cars in and all that. And I was just like, Jesus, they fly their fucking car, like ship them in or whatever by boat. Like, how much would that cost? So it says, it's a website here. Revealed how Arab playboys fly their supercars into London on chartered cargo jets for the trifling sum of £20,000 per vehicle. 20 quid, whatever the fuck they say. Cars are flown distances of around 3,000 miles in planes such as Qatar Airways, Airbus, A330s, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, McLarens, among vehicles spotted recently in Knightsbridge area, which is the really ritzy area, or posh, as they say. And the owners are usually here only for a couple of weeks. Dude, this is like a level of fucking wealth that, I haven't seen it. I'm not saying that, it doesn't go on in my country, but it was fucking jaw-dropping. So basically, I'll send the link for this thing. I mean, these guys do not fuck around. These are just some of the sickest rides ever. And then what I love is there's this one guy. Yeah, here's a Lamborghini. There's a yellow one. There's a gray one. I don't even know. This other one's like a McLaren, or is that a Ferrari? And then this is the thing, because they can all afford them, they're trying to trick them out so theirs looks unique. This guy has some sort of spider webs going on, which is horrific to anybody who ever considered buying that car. Like, why would you ruin that? Why would you do that to that fucking work of art? They're hooking these fucking things up the way, those kids who drive the drifters and shit? You know what I mean? Or people drove hot rods would always have that. Who's that guy? The guy who used to do all the fucking artwork on those things. You know what I mean? And those are like cars, that kids could afford it to like fix them up. These are like some of the richest people on the planet. They do that to Ferraris, Lamborghinis. So there's this one fucking guy. He has he's like becoming famous because he flew like 6 of his fucking cars over, and they're all like done in like this mirror gold. It's like I gotta be honest with you, it's like the gaudiest thing I've ever seen in my life, but it's fucking hilarious on another level. Hang on. All right, so I found the guy here. This guy's not even trying to be famous or anything. I don't know what he's doing. So Saudi billionaire Turki bin Abdullah is the man behind the fleet of incredible golden supercars currently touring wealthy parts of London. Dude, this kid, he looks like he's like fucking 23. All right, these are the pictures, all right? He's got this looks like a Lamborghini. They're all the exact same color gold. And you know what's funny is they got pictures of them flying in their private jet, and they're doing that stupid peace sign YOLO thing, right? Except they're dressed in like the traditional, the Saudi Arabian headgear that they wear, like it's all fucking white. And then on top looks like that traditional Betty Crocker tablecloth. They got that with the LeBron James headband on, right? Loving life in this private jet. You know they didn't rent it. They probably own it, right? Then he's got another one. This looks like a fucking one of those, either a Range Rover or Mercedes-Benz truck. And this is the greatest thing. Custom interior, all gold. And in the driver's seat, there's a cheetah. Every car is like 350 fucking grand. Yeah, you ever seen that truck, this 6-wheel Mercedes? It's got 6 wheels. Oh, I gotta be careful. This kid's next door. It's got fucking 6 wheels on it. There's no fucking reason to have this truck ever. I mean, the thing is, it's incredible. Fucking thing is incredible. He's got one of those in gold. Oh, and that's where he keeps his cheetah, evidently. I'm just scrolling down. He's got a Range Rover. I mean, they are gaudy. I don't know. Then he does them in black. They're kind of fucking cool looking. So anyway, so there's a bunch of people that fucking can't stand it. Of course, you have one of those cars, everybody's going to hate you. If you got fucking 6 of them and you're getting them, and they look like the grill. Remember those fucking grills they used to make, those guys in Houston? When that rapper Paul Wall, I think even he had a line of those things, right? Remember how fucking like just in your face gaudy that was? But that was just teeth, so you had to make them laugh first, which is a really difficult thing to do with a rapper, you know what I mean? The second they smile, their album sales, they drop tremendously. So it's very rare that you got them to smile. So as gaudy as they were, it wasn't that bad, right? There's no way to look away from these fucking cars. So anyway, so I'm walking down the street, right, in London, and I'm just looking at all these cars. It was like a fucking car show, man. It was amazing. So this typical fucking, showy jerk off in this Lamborghini, not a gold one, and he's in like stop and go traffic, and the entire time he's in stop and go traffic, he's just revving the engine. Whoa, 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 whoa. I can't do the high pitch. You know those supercars, how crazy they are, right? And I'm trudging along in this humid air and shit with all these Londoners, right? And this fucking lady, the guy's is sitting there going like, whoa, 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 doing all that stuff. She just goes, oh, stop it. I almost fell down on the sidewalk and laughed. And that's the first time I thought, like, that's what made me research it, going like I was, after the 50th Ferrari went by and there wasn't a car show, I was starting to sense that there was something going on here. But I just thought that these were just super. I was like, wow, man, there's a lot of money in London. These guys are not fucking around. Who the fuck would live in London? You got the tube, you got all these taxis. I mean, like, it'd be like owning a Lamborghini and you live in Manhattan. You're like, why? That's just a disgusting level of wealth. So I was just like, man, these people are, they're crushing it over here in London. But I guess it's just this group of people that comes over. Dude, you got to look this kid up. This kid cannot be more than like, I don't know, 23, 24. Dude, he's got a gold Rolls Royce. He's got a Bentley. I got to be honest with you. He knows his fucking cars. The 6 wheels Mercedes is fucking ridiculous. I know a lot of people, it's blood money. It's this, it's that. Yeah, you're right. But whatever. It's fun to look at. And something, just being someone who likes to go on stage and I like to entertain people, but it's also really fun to annoy people. And the fact that these people are coming there and they're driving around in their fucking cars. Sorry, that just slid down the pillow. Sorry. They're driving around in their fucking cars and they're annoying, making that lady go, oh, stop it. It was hilarious to me. So I'll send a link to that stuff. I deliberately booked myself in a hotel. I usually stay wherever the fuck, I don't care. But this hotel actually had a cigar bar in it. And I learned that from Cigar Aficionado. They got this thing called Places to Smoke. So if you're traveling, just look it up and they will tell you the place to go. And I went there with the person who was the tour manager. And it was just me and him. And we went in there. It was funny when we first came in. They were like, "Oh, we're sorry, we don't have any seats," because we walked in looking like a couple of fucking rubes, had my baseball hat on and shit, all sweaty from the show. We just looked like two fucking assholes. And in there were all these gorgeous Arab women and all those fucking that whole fucking scene was. I don't know if those chicks were from London trying to meet the guy in the golden car, but at this point I was so caught up in the fucking soap opera. It was like watching a reality show. Like, how that isn't a reality show is fucking beyond me. Somebody needs to make that a fucking reality show. It's literally like Fast and Loud without building the thing meets like the fucking Real Housewives meet, but they're guys. I don't know, Big Brother or something. I want to see them talking about what it's like to be that rich. I want to see the whole fucking process of how they got those fucking cars over there. Do they give a fuck that people, hate on them for having those cars? How do they deal with women coming at them? Because, you got a fucking fleet of gold cars. I don't give a shit who the fuck she is. Well, that's not true, but there's a sizable amount of women that'll just blow you just so they can look at themselves sucking a dick in the fucking shine of that car. If anybody in London ever fucking makes that show, please text me a link because I'm going to watch every fucking episode. I want to see the whole thing. The riding over in the jets, the whole thing. The confiscating of the passports so you have the slave labor that builds Dubai. I want to see the whole thing. The pain, the sorrow, the whores, the whole fucking thing. Tremendous. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, August 8th, 2016. Let me move close to the mic there. Try not to have it on my chest so you don't have to listen to me breathing. I know it's been an issue the last couple of podcasts, but like I said, I'm out here on the road, and the little mixer that I use is a piece of shit, and even if I have an adapter, for some reason it seems to blow up. It probably didn't. I probably plugged it into the wall and I fucked up, but who knows? So, I am in, as an American would say, Edinburgh. I don't know how the fuck they say it, Scotland. I just did a show, believe it or not, at like 3:45 in the afternoon out here. I have shows at 3:45 and 11:30. I don't know why. I thought it was because I signed on late to the festival. I have no idea. But I got to tell you, man, it was a fucking great time. It was a great time. Look at that. I just got a message here. All right. Let me shut this fucking thing off. All right. So anyway, I just did a show. I got to tell you, I loved it. I'm sitting there the whole time going over there being this cranky fucking, little showgirl, right? I was in Amsterdam last night, which is a great show. So today I'm flying. I land. I get to the fucking hotel. Hotel isn't ready, as always. That's how my travel always gets put together. They never let me sleep that extra hour and a half. They're always like, let's get him up and get him to the next fucking city. God forbid he misses a show. And then I always end up landing before the fucking room's ready. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Bill, why don't you have you or somebody call ahead and ask for an early check-in? I'll tell you why. Because I don't live my life that way. I live my life moment to fucking moment. I try to. Because if I look too far down the road, I have a panic attack and I start getting overwhelmed and depressed and I just start going like, it's just flying by. I'm going to die soon. All right? It's not worth contemplating your own mortality just to get a fucking early check-in. I would rather walk in and then be like, what do you mean the room isn't ready? But I have a show. Right? And throw a big fucking hissy fit. Admit it. That's what everybody wants to see. Yeah, so I had a 3:45 show today, and I absolutely fucking loved it. I went over there, and I'm just thinking, like, Jesus Christ, this what is it, a bunch of blue-haired old ladies? Who the fuck has a comedy show at 3:45 in the afternoon? It reminded me of when I was on my way up, and I was paying my dues, and I was humble, and I treated my fellow human beings with respect, as opposed to now. Like, I just ordered room service, and, like, the water wasn't in a glass bottle, and I slapped it down to the ground. And I said, how dare you? I'm from the United States of America, right? No, I didn't do that. Anyways, my humble beginnings, as I was coming up, we used to do these things at colleges, and they were called nooners. You know, I got a nooner at Fuckhead State or whatever, and it was basically, you did stand-up, you know, anywhere from fucking 11 in the morning to like 1 in the afternoon, and you had no idea what the fuck you were going to walk into. I mean, you knew it was most likely going to be one of the most humiliating hours of your life. You knew like 90% chance that most of the people in the cafeteria or in the hallway area or whatever had no idea that there was even going to be a show. Guaranteed that whoever's bringing you up on stage is not in show business, so it's going to be a horrible fucking intro, the whole thing. I remember I used to just go on stage. Right before I would go on stage, I would just look at my watch, and I would always think, an hour from now, this is going to be over. No matter how awful this gets, no matter how humiliating this gets, an hour from now, I'm going to be back in the rental car. I'm going to drive away from this school, and I don't have to ever think about this fucking show again. But I will have the money, okay? And whatever they're paying me, they probably shouldn't give me twice that amount, because I blew probably at least 3 times that on fucking therapy after going through those things. But that's how I used to always think it. And if you guys think I'm angry and negative now, you should have seen me back then, when I didn't even understand. I'm not negative now, but I was way more angry, and I was really fucking negative. I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop before, I don't know, I read a bunch of fucking books and shit, and I was able to come out of it. And I know I trash a lot of shit here on the podcast, but I like to think that when I give advice, you know, you can hear the twinkle in my eye. You know, it starts to sound like Christmas when I try to help somebody out. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm the same way. But I mean, back then, I wasn't even fucking aware how fucking nuts I was. And I would just go up there, and I was just, I don't know, if somebody said anything, I just tried to chop their fucking head off. And a lot of times they weren't being mean, and I ended up creating the fucking hostile situation between me and the crowd that I didn't want. I wanted it to be an easy gig. So why wouldn't you go up there and smile? Be like, hey, it's great to be here, you know, blah, 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 and try to ingratiate yourself to the people. You know why? I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that because when I grew up, I didn't see anybody doing that. All right? There's very few people from where I'm from even fucking have ever used the word ingratiating. I can tell you right now, I have no idea how to spell it. All right, the first letter is either an I or it's an E. Is it ingratiating or I? I'm going to go with I. I'm going to try to spell it right now. Let's see, what do we got here? Come on, Bill. I'm going to close my eyes. I-N-G-R, so it doesn't help out. C-I-A-T-I-N-G. Come on, one time. One time, get it right. Oh, fuck you. It's I-N-G-R-A-T-I-A-T-I-N-G. I missed one letter. Do you know what I mean? It's like being off a degree in the space shuttle. The next thing you know, you're on fucking Mars. You know, and you were trying to go to, I don't know, Jupiter? We'll go with Jupiter. Let me go back here. So, anyways, I was sitting backstage waiting to go on, and not only was the show was fucking tremendous. And I was like, why the fuck did I think that was going to stink? This is why, because the last time I did shit like that, nobody knew who the fuck I was. No one knew there was a comedy show. This shit, I went there, was people that listened to the podcast. They wanted to go there, and they knew it was a show. So now I'm like, holy fuck. I want to do fucking 3:45 in the afternoon shows from now on. Fuck this 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night shit. Dude, if I could have my day over, that would be the greatest thing ever. I want to become the 11 a.m. comedian. Be like back in the day. I'll become a morning person again. Well, who's kidding who? With all my fucking demons, I can't sleep more than 4 hours a night anyways. My wife says I always have a fucking look on my face of worry or I'm thrashing about. I'm a fucking mess. She goes, the only time you fucking sleep peacefully is when you get fucking drunk. But then I snore. I mean, as I've told you before, like I'm a fucking, my wife's a saint putting up with me. So anyways, I would fucking love to do that. You know, if I had like a show Friday night and a show Saturday night, if I could move them up to like 4 in the afternoon, right? Even if I did a 2-hour show, I would be done at 6 o'clock at night. Fucking rap. And then at that point, I can go to a ball game. I can go see all the shit that I miss. That would be perfect. But it'd suck for whoever's coming out to see me because they'd have to leave work early. Maybe the Saturday night show. I don't know. Probably wouldn't work. People are too used to the other way. But I have to tell you, like, if I didn't have this 11:30 show to do right now, like the level of excited, I feel. You know what I feel like right now? I feel like I got a day off from school. You know, when you were a kid. Except I got that other one hanging over my head at 11:30. Oh God, it was great. The people were fucking sober. It was tremendous. I know a number of comics that do like there's a few comics who work totally clean and they do like afternoon shows. And I've always pictured it being like, oh, God, you must, I mean, it's the afternoon, the sun's out. You must have to be like beyond clean and wholesome. And I got to tell you, I just did my fucking act, you know, as hard as I would have done it at night. And it worked fine. So I don't know. I might have accidentally stumbled onto something. Thank you for all the tweets, by the way, the fellow supercar lovers out there that enjoyed those clips that I sent you of those fucking insane cars that those Saudi Arabian kids in their 20s fly over into London. Watching those kids zipping around in those cars made me go on YouTube, and I was watching a ton of clips of those cars versus each other, all these tests, test drives and reviews and all of that. I got to tell you something, man. There's a lot of fucking jerk-offs out there that have these fucking cars. There was this one kid, it's just like, I mean, you would think that this guy was into like some Comic-Con shit. And he's just like, what's up, YouTube? They always have that. Is there anything worse when you just want to find the clip and then you get sucked into somebody's fucking stupid TV show on YouTube? Okay, guys, so here's the deal. This guy has a Lamborghini. It's like, I know, you fucking cunt. I don't need you to tell me about it. Somebody told me about it, which is why I'm on here looking for this shit. I'm sorry I'm not yelling the way I usually do that. Just the people next door have a little kid, so I'm trying not to scream too loud here. That's my number one fucking thing I cannot stand. Everything else about YouTube I fucking love, but I hate how they have that. Like, it'll be like whatever you want to fucking watch. Like whatever the latest thing. What's the latest thing that happened? I'll say that swimmer there, right? The bonghead guy, right? With the fucking, the 20-foot body there, right? He was giving that guy the death stare. I saw a clip. It's like so-and-so gives so-and-so the fucking death stare. So what do you think I want to watch? I want to see this guy give the guy the death stare. And every fucking thing I hit on YouTube, and it's just, what's up, YouTube? Okay, so as we all know, the swimmers, and they like act out swimming, and they're trying to be all like fucking interesting and stepping towards the camera and coming back. It's just like, you fucking monobrowed cunt. Just show me the fucking clip, And then what the worst thing is once the clip's out there, then every cunt out there then has to do some fucking remix of it. And they think it's going to be fucking hilarious. And some of them are, but 90% of them stink. I don't know. Did you guys see, you ever see the remix of the Tourette's syndrome guy who totally didn't have Tourette's? He was just acting, but he was still funny. Somebody sent me that one on Facebook. That one was funny. I'll say that I enjoyed that one. Sorry if I'm a little fucking curmudgeon here, man. I'm fucking, this weather's really, it's really getting to me. All right, move back to East Coast. Bill, as your success continues and you become even more financially stable and set for the long term, that is an impossibility. I don't understand how you get financially, because at the end of the day, even if you just take all your money and you stick it in a bank, what those cunts do is at some point they play a little fucky fuck and they loan everything out. I will never forget just watching people with their life savings in there standing outside the bank and there's just a padlock on it. So there's really no place that you can put it. Every place you put it, someone's going to put their fucking hands on it. You know what I mean? Okay. You stick it in the stock market, they start investing it. They just it's so fucked up. They won't just let you have your money. The only way to do it is if you fucking just cashed your check every week and you stuck it in the wall. And then you got to worry, did I leave the iron on? Every time you leave, or someone gets wind that that's what you're doing. And then you got to have the shotgun bed. Have you ever seen the shotgun bed?
No.
It's the greatest fucking bed in the world if you live alone. It's basically, if it's the headboard, you bring your hands back like this as you touch it. Mm-hmm. The thing flips around like a secret door and a loaded shotgun comes down in your hand.
That's a real thing?
Yeah.
That's not something from a movie?
It's the fucking shit. But here's the thing. Whenever they show the demonstration, the person's in the bed by themselves.
Okay.
Because when it comes down, the fucking barrel is going to be pointing at your wife, at her head.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
Well, what you got to do is you got to sleep on the side of the bed. If you're a left-handed shot or a right-handed shot, you got to sit on the side of the bed where, if in your panic, you know what I mean? Like if you woke up in the middle of the night and you looked over and there was just this figure standing there in the door, like that horror movie, when the lady, then she turns the lights on, then she turns it off, and then it's there.
Yeah.
Then she turns it on, she turns it off, and it moved up like 10 feet. And it's like, bitch, leave the fucking lights on.
I cannot watch that trailer because that's exactly what I think. I'm like, why do you keep flicking it on? Maybe because you're like, am I seeing what I'm really seeing? I don't know.
When it moves up, though, that is the shit.
Yeah, it's scary, but I can't deal with that.
Anyway. Something? I hate people who don't buy into horror movies. I always buy in. I'm like, all right, I get it. Yeah, she's flipping the lights on.
That would never happen in real life.
Yeah. Anyways. The only way I can see that you're financially fucking set is you buy a house and you fucking pay it off.
All right, get to the rest of this thing here.
Okay. You had any thoughts about what point you would have to get to before you move back to the East Coast? I know that Nia may not be fond of this and you may not be thinking about it either, but it seems like you would be happier back in Boston. Who the fuck is this idiot?
You don't know me.
Yeah, you don't know me. You don't know what I like. Boston, New York, etc. I'm from Pittsburgh originally and lived in Chicago for a few years, and now I'm in Washington, D.C. area. So I never lived on the West Coast, but have visited numerous times. You can't beat the weather in L.A., but you can't beat the culture of the East Coast. Would love to hear your thoughts, and thank you for keeping us all entertained.
Have you been complaining about L.A. a lot?
No, not at all. I love L.A.
Why does this person seem to think that you'd be happier back in Boston?
Because people, I get. Well, by the time I read the rest of it, I get it. He's just looking at the world through his own eyes. I don't know. I sometimes I think about moving back east, but I mean, I'm doing efforts for family. The show business is out there. And there's fucking great people in LA. There's great food. There's all this great stuff to do out there. A lot of people shit on LA because when they move out there, they try to make it in show business and if they don't get anywhere and they pack it in and they leave, all they really met was a bunch of other desperate people that didn't get anywhere. And it can give you a really bad feeling about LA. I've had that experience too the first time I went out there. I was like, fuck LA. All the real people are on the East Coast. And I started having that attitude. But, when you go out there, when you break through, and you start meeting people, some of, really most talented, generous, cool fucking people I've met have been when I've been out there. And, 9 times out of 10, if you meet somebody legendary, you quickly realize why they're a fucking legend. And that's because of their attitude. They've made all this money. They're really super successful, and they're still genuinely interested in new things and don't feel that they know everything and that type of shit. And I don't know. You can't beat the fucking houses out there are awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. You've never once complained about living in LA. If anything, you're like, I love it out here. I love it out here.
Yeah.
So,
and I also love New York.
You're getting that.
I love New York, but like, if I was ever to move back to New York, I mean, at this point, I'd have to live in a house. Like, once you live in a house, you can't go back to living in a fucking apartment and traipsing up and down the fucking stairs. And just living in New York, you have no car. You're just like this prisoner of the neighborhood, and you're just sitting there dying for new restaurants to open up. I just remember that. And then you got this little ass fucking kitchen, and you're watching like, I used to watch Molto Mario, and I'm like, I'm going to buy one of those. And then I had no place to put it. And all these pots and pans stacked up. I can't do it. New York City's for young people, And if you don't believe me, look at the older people that live there and look at their postures and shit. Like, I don't know.
I love New York, but I couldn't go. I don't know that I'd want to live there again. Not in the city, at least.
Yeah, I feel like that part of my life is over.
Yeah, it was fun in my 20s.
Yeah, I rollerbladed on all those avenues. But if we ever went back, I'd get a house and I'd just drive into the city.
Yeah. And
then bitch, moan, and complain about the fucking traffic.
Exactly.
I would do that.
Like live in the suburbs in Westchester or whatever. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. But I mean, I kind of feel like I'm going to do this cartoon and then I'm going to be ready to be like, all right, if this thing goes like, 7-8 seasons, that's it. What else more? Well, what else more do you need to do? I went out to LA. I got a TV show. We did it for 8 seasons. People liked it. I made people laugh.
Yeah.
And then what? I would do the Seinfeld.
Vegas.
Do the Seinfeld. Yeah, then I do my fucking...
Vegas.
my drum solo fucking comedy show.
Right.
Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. And I'm just checking in on you. It's 9:25 p.m. here. This is a really weird podcast. I'm going to be taping this on my iPhone. I'm probably going to do half of it, and then I'm going to head out. It's my last night in Scotland. My last night in Scotland. I had a fucking blast, but I got to tell you, man, Jesus Christ. After spending 3 fucking days in Scotland, Bull, go buy Bull of Wollum. You prefer Bull of Wollum. I just want to be dry. It has just rained essentially nonstop, and it didn't even have the fucking decency to just rain. It's just been slowly just fucking spitting in your face. And I finally was talking to this cab driver on the way over, and he was just going, I was like, does it always rain during the summer over here? He goes, there's no summer in Scotland. Summer in Scotland is you go to Turkey, Greece, or Spain, or some shit like that. He's just basically saying, I guess the sun never fucking shines here. Is it any wonder why everybody's so goddamn funny up here? I had such great shows. And another really weird venue. I didn't even know what the fuck it was. It took me to my third show to realize it was a gymnasium. I finally saw a backboard, like a basketball rim, with the glass, and it was just sort of cranked up against the ceiling. And I don't know, just really it was weird. It was totally fucking bizarre, but some of the best shows I've had on the tour. I just really had a great time. Scottish people are fucking hilarious. So even when people yelled out, half the time they said shit funnier than what I was talking about. I'm trying to pack up here. Oh man, I packed perfectly on this fucking tour. I absolutely fucking crushed it. All I have, I'm going to be over in Europe here for 23 fucking days. I have a little bitchy ass stewardess little wheelie thing and a backpack, and that's it. You know why? Because I've fucking traveled. And I've done the thing where you bring fucking 5 pairs of t-shirts, 3 different fucking workout things, sweatpants. What if we go ballroom dancing? What if another night we go to a bullfight? What if for some reason we do some jousting, right? And you just pack every stupid ass fucking outfit. And you know what happens? You're 5 days into your fucking trip and you realize that you've worn the same t-shirt every single day. And you know what? No one gives a shit. And there's nothing worse then is because then you start buying shit over there. There's no fucking room, and you're just looking at all these fucking t-shirts and all these sweatpants and these stupid fancy hats, whatever the fuck it is you're into that you brought and you never wore. I actually still packed too much shit. I got 2 great t-shirts. I've yet to use them. Yet to fucking use them. No one knows you out here. No one gives a shit. You think somebody's going to walk by, you're going to walk by someone and they're going to be like, oh, that's that fucking tourist. Came by yesterday wearing the same t-shirt. It's not high school. Nobody knows who the fuck you are. Anybody can blow anybody away. Yeah, that's it. I packed like an absolute champ. And now I'm home. I'm going to the motherland now. I'm going to Germany, where I've never really done a background check on me, but I just looked at a little bit of the family tree. I got a lot of German last names in the tree, so I know I got a significant amount of fucking German blood in me. Dude, I got to give it up to the Scots. A lot of countries you go to, their money just looks fake and stupid. The fucking Scots got great currency. These coins actually seem like they're worth something. They got a weight to them. They got some good designs on them. Plus, it always helps that people from Scotland talk like they're pirates, Just gives some sort of level of, credibility to anything that they're fucking saying. I'm sure the audio is a little fucked up. I'm literally packing right now as I'm talking to you. I'm going to try to knock half of this out before I get out of here. But tonight, I actually had my first night off, in 10 days. I did 13 shows in the last 10 days, and I was doing at least an hour and a half every night for the most part, except the first show here. They told me to only do an hour, but after that, every other one I try to do like $1.15. So I've done, somewhere between 23 and 25 hours of stand-up. It was really nice to have a day off. There's a very important man in town right now. He's the teen idol sensation from the Opie and Anthony program. I'm gonna go to a local bar, have a couple of sarsaparillas with him, see how his festival went. Wearing my action slacks that I bought. I know they're not literally called action slacks, but I don't give a shit. These things are, anytime you have on pants that look like they could go with a suit, but you could also do yoga in them, those are fucking action slacks. I don't care how cool they make them now, I don't care what NBA player fucking dances around with them, doing all the tricks with the ball and then hits a fucking three-pointer, I forget who makes these things. It's the one that has the H on it. The Hardcastle and McCormick, what do they call it? Under Armour. I don't know. Everybody's always trying to have a badass name for this shit. So, anyways, thank you to Scotland. Thank you to the Fringe Festival and everybody that came out. And thank you to everybody in Amsterdam. Did I talk about Amsterdam the other day? I think I did on the podcast. I don't know what to expect tomorrow when I go to Germany, but I'm going to Cologne, Germany. Not Munich, not Berlin. I'm basically going to the Worcester, Massachusetts of Germany, as far as I can tell. You know what I mean? It's like you're going to California. You're not going to L.A., you're not going to San Francisco. I feel like I'm going to the Sacramento of Germany. I have no fucking idea. But this is what I do. I'm not going to look it up. I'm not going to look at the pictures. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to shit on them. And then tomorrow I'll start my show off probably getting heckles from people going, actually, we're number one in commerce. This is some of the most expensive real estate in the country. I just can't imagine. You know what's so fucking incredible is after I do Cologne, I'm going to drive over to Antwerp, Belgium, and as far as I know, I'm going to be passing through where the Battle of the Bulge was in World War II. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I guess because people live over there. I don't know if the weight of where they live really hits them just because they're there. You know what I mean? It's kind of like here in Scotland. There's all these fucking touristy shops where you can buy a fucking kilt and a bunch of plaid shit, But if you look at the people who live here, none of them are wearing that shit. Yeah, that's whatever you're known for.
Yeah, they're sick of it. I've been going around here trying to get authentic fucking Scottish cuisine, and there's more goddamn places to get Italian. You can get falafels, like it's anything but Scottish food. Yeah, they're like, dude, we grew up on this shit. We don't want to eat it, okay? And I don't want to dress up wearing that shit unless I'm playing a fucking bagpipe or I'm doing a goddamn Mel Gibson movie. Now, granted, I don't know if that's fucking true, but I don't. Look, what do you want from me? I go to countries for like 20 minutes and then I form opinions without reading shit. You know, it's what I do. It's the charm of my podcast, I like to think. Hey, so I went out last night and I had a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5, 14 drinks last night, and I was wearing my action slacks there. And I got to tell you, I know this sounds like more advertising, but a big fucking, I tried to knock the head off my beer, which I thought I did. And then I looked down and it landed right on my leg. And I went, shit, this is going to stain. I wiped it off and like literally nothing happened. It was totally fine. They're like the greatest fucking pants I've ever had in my life. But I look like a complete asshole with them, But isn't that how life is? Isn't there always a price to pay? All right, so this is it. This is my last fucking few hours here in Scotland. And could not have had a better time, but I am fucking ready to get out of this gloom and fucking doom of this goddamn place. Holy shit. I mean, it just feels like March. It's August, and it just feels like March. It's cold, it's fucking rainy, it's overcast. Went to a couple of great bars last night. I was finally talking to DeRosa. DeRosa's, he's such a fucking animal, He's like, hey, let's go to the festival fucking bar. It's like, why the fuck would you want to go to the comedy festival thing? We were there last night. They're serving Guinness and scotch in plastic cups. Have a little bit of respect for yourself. Can we at least go to a place that has a glass? So we ended up finding some bar. It was great. We just come walking in, and there's these two guys sitting down. One of them's playing the guitar, the other guy's playing the accordion. They're singing all these fucking songs. It's tremendous, right? This is what kills me. I apologize for making all you guys yawn. I don't really apologize. This fucking podcast is for free, so I don't give a shit. This is what kills me. Is I'm sitting at the bar, and after about fucking a half hour, I finally look over at the fucking people with the guitar and the accordion, and I look over. Now there's a woman sitting there. She's playing the fiddle. And there's some other guy sitting down there, and he's playing the accordion. I mean, what are the odds of that? What are the odds that you're even going to walk into a bar and there's somebody that not only has an accordion, knows how to play it, and a half hour later somebody else comes in, and you can just hand it off to him like it's a fucking guitar. What is it, a fucking squeeze box festival over here? I've never seen that in my life. Do you know how many fucking bars I've gone to? I don't either, but it's a lot. I've never seen anybody play an accordion in a bar in my life till I came to Scotland. Right? This fucking guy's playing the shit out of it, and then when I look over to go see the Eddie Van Halen of fucking, squeeze box is still playing, it's somebody else. But then again, maybe he called up his friend. Right? And you know how plumbers know other plumbers, right? Hairdressers hang out with hairdressers. Maybe accordion players hang out with each other. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing, right? Do you think serial killers, though? That's one that's very rare. They don't hang out with each other. There's just a quiet, unspoken respect that they have with each other as they sit there on death row. I wonder if that's their regret. I should have hung out more with more complete fucking sociopaths. If I could do it all over again, I would have been part of a serial killer team, so I could have shared those memories with people. That was really dark. I apologize. All right. I think I gave you my half hour. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so, thank you for listening. I am now on my way to Germany. And very excited. Never been there before. And I was just talking to a friend of mine who's played some gigs over there and said they're always fucking great crowds. Which makes sense, It makes sense that they would be great crowds, you know. They got to make up for, you know, they got to make up for, you know, starting a couple of world wars. Right? Those poor bastards. Oh, I'm going to give them shit tonight. I'm going to give them shit. I'm just going to be like, you know, you fucking guys, all your contributions that you've made, you know, from audio tape to some of the greatest automobiles people have ever seen. And it's just a goddamn shame that no one's ever going to think of that first, because you picked one wrong guy. That's all they did in Germany. They picked one wrong guy, and it just turned out to be the biggest fucking lunatic in modern history. Somebody had to pick him, you know? This is the thing, too. As Trump is doing what he's doing, and people try to compare Trump to Hitler, you know what I mean? I mean, give me a fucking break. He's nowhere near in Hitler's league. Right? Hitler used to crush those speeches. Donald Trump is just rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. You know what I mean? His whole campaign has just been like a fucking Hail Mary. It went up in the air and everybody's going, knock it down, right? And what happened? Urlacher goes up and he tries to catch the fucking thing and someone slaps it out of his hand and then landed in Hillary Clinton's fucking cleavage. And now these are the two clowns we got to look at. Oh, I'll tell you, it's a rough one. All right, go fuck yourselves. I'll have a wonderful weekend, you cunts. And I'll check in on you. No, I'm checking in on you now. I'll talk to you on Monday. That's what I'm trying to say. All right.
I actually went out tonight and I saw the great Tommy Tiernan at this place called the Gilded Balloon. And he's an absolute legend in Ireland. Irish guy, absolute legend there. All through Ireland, all through fucking Great Britain and into Europe. And it was great, man. It was fun to be an audience member, just sitting there watching an absolute master up there, storyteller and all that stuff, man. It was so cool. And I just got to hang out and enjoy it. But you know what fucking sucks? The number one fucking thing that I cannot stand about going to a live, to anything where you got to have these rows of chairs. I just got this perfect seat in the back, right? No problem. There's like one row behind me. I deliberately sat in the back, you know, because I want to get the whole thing. I want to watch him do his thing. I want to see the crowd react. I want to see, you know, I just want to take the whole thing in, right? And I'm sitting there, and this right before the fucking show starts. Just like every time you go to a movie, like, oh, thank God, no one around is talking, right? And then the fucking loud cunt comes walking in right before the lights go down to show the coming attractions, right? The same thing happened at Tommy's show. Everything was great. I'm chilling out. And then I never really got a good look at this guy, but this guy just sounded like the biggest mouth-breathing moron ever. He sounded like his diet was horrible. They just drank and boozed. He was like having problems just breathing. And then when he laughed, you could just tell he was dumb. He just sitting there going like, then he go, the whole fucking time. And then if he would inhale like too much like that, then he would cough, and I would feel the wind on the back of my neck like every third or fourth cough. So now I am totally like leaned forward because, you know, it's Tommy's show. It's fucking sold out. And I got to lean forward like I don't know what, like I'm playing catcher or some shit. And then I got to kind of look up. So my neck is fucking killing me. I can't lean back. And the guy, it took every skill that I have of blocking people out, which my skills are terrible, to try to make this guy not ruin the show. Fortunately, Tommy was so fucking funny, I was still able to enjoy it. But the guy behind me was so annoying me that even when he would laugh, because he had such a dumb laugh, I'm like, you didn't fucking get what Tommy was saying there. He's too fucking brilliant for it. He's sitting there going, that for a fucking hour. It was like a Mel Blanc voice, you know? Which way did it go? That's what it reminded me of. Is this still fucking recording, or did it turn off? Get to the Long Island shows here. You know, I'm getting ready to do this special. And I had Vinnie Mark open it for me. We were having a great time talking about the old days. And he just was really just such a fucking nice guy to me. Like as I was telling you when I first started out.
and but he knows all like the Long Island stand-up history because he was a part of it. And he was saying right down the street, and I always heard about this place, was the East Side Comedy Club. And this was this place out in Long Island where like fucking everybody got their start. Eddie Murphy, Ray Romano, Kevin James, Rosie O'Donnell, Paul Reiser, Jim Carrey. This guy Richie I'm going to say his fucking name wrong. I can't read. Minervini. Oh, fuck. Where's the article? This is the wrong goddamn article here. All right, I'll just read you this article. It says, Richie Minervini should have worked for NASA because he helped launch the careers of so many big-name New York comics. And it's the ones I just mentioned, right? And Eddie Murphy, Ray Romano, Kevin James, Rosie O'Donnell, Paul Reiser, Jim Carrey, director Judd Apatow. A lot of people didn't know when he started to do stand-up again, but he did that before. You know, he did stand-up initially before he did the 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up, and all those huge movies. And now he's back to doing stand-up while also making all these great movies. So anyways, all of their comedy bones, made their comedy bones in the 1980s and 90s in Huntington, Long Island, at the legendary East Side Comedy Club, which closed in 1995. Richie said, I was in real estate in 1979, but I wanted to be a comedian. A top comic who plays all the A-list casinos and works the cruise ship circuit. That was pretty much as high up as anybody got back then. He goes, I got sick of driving into the city trying to get on stage at the Improv or Catch a Rising Star, so I found this restaurant in Huntington and made it into a comedy club. Jackie Mason headlined his grand opening. Jackie asked how I was going to pay him his 10 grand fee with an $8 cover for 135 seats. Richie said, I had no idea what I was doing. So I said, I don't know. And then Jackie was cool and said he told me to pay him next year, which I did. His first regular night of stand-up, listen to this, his first fucking show he ever booked at this club. This is how legendary East Side Comedy Club was. This was the show. Eddie Murphy, right there, over, legendary show. Jerry Seinfeld, Jackie the Joke Man Martling, Paul Reiser, Rob Bartlett, Bob Nelson, and himself. Each person did 8 minutes, and he said, I never dreamed that most of those guys would go on to become big-time superstars. And then he had all these great stories. He said, vividly remembers Eddie Murphy's shoes. He said, just before he went on stage, Eddie would take a brand-new pair of shoes out of the box, wear them on stage. It was a different pair every night. Finally, I found out he worked in a shoe store, and he'd put them back on the shelf the next day. How fucking hilarious is that? He said Ray Romano would go on stage wearing a snazzy blazer. He'd take it off, hang it on the chair. So he would just walk out wearing it. He'd hang it on the chair. He'd do his act, then carry his jacket off stage. And then you'd see the price tag on the inside. Ray'd return it the next day for a refund. This guy, Rick, Richie told Jerry Seinfeld that he was hilarious, but he needed to be more dirty. And Jerry was like, yeah, but then when I do the Tonight Show, I'll have to clean it up and it'll hurt my timing. And he said, Richie just smirked and said, sure, Jerry, sure. Like, you're actually going to get on the Tonight Show, which of course he did. Then he just had a bunch of kind things to say about Kevin James and all those guys, saying they haven't changed at all. But, what's his face took me down the street and showed me like the location where the first thing was. And I'm like, I'm such a fucking nerd for the past. You know, especially if it's something that I'm into.
Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday. Fucking Monday there. August 15th, 2016. What's going on? How are you? Oh, Freckles. Finished his tour strong. I did my last 2 nights, one Cologne, Germany, and then the other Antwerpen, Belgium. Got a frog in my throat here. Just amazing shows. And I got to tell you something. I want a special thank you to the people who came out in Germany. I fucking did my Hitler shit, and I thought that they were going to pull back. They loved it. And I don't mean loved it like, yeah, bring the guy back. They had a great sense of humor about it. And Oh, yeah, it was great, too. And then all my other shit, too, was working well. It was just a great show. And I learned a lot about the city. Oh, no, you didn't, Bill. You were there for fucking, 17 hours. I went on their Wikipedia page, Cologne, Germany, and I found out that it was one of the most bombed cities of World War II. So it was this weird thing where it was this really old city, but everything was brand new because the Allies fucking blew everything up. Except for this one church, which I don't understand how it survived. It's got the really tall fucking spires. It was just sitting there. It had must have had Mayweather fucking head movement. I don't know how it avoided it. I also don't get how Cologne, Germany somehow got bombed more than Hiroshima or Nagasaki. I mean, they got fucking... Is it because it was just one bomb? That really redefined the old right there, Fred. When you drop a fucking atom bomb on somebody. That is probably the ultimate right there, Fred. Where Cologne, Germany was more just like... Do you remember that fight? What the fuck George St. Pierre had? Where he just kept punching that other guy right in his fucking eye? Jab, jab, jab. And he kept hitting him in the exact same fucking place. That's what we did to Cologne, Germany. Where Japan, that was more like an Anderson Silva, when you're standing there and you think he's going to throw a jab and then he somehow gives you an uppercut with his foot. Is it, Bill? Is that what an atomic bomb is like? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Anyways, so the tour finished up strong, and I don't hear a lot of people ever saying that they go to Belgium, at least in the States. Jesus Christ, it was fucking incredible. The number one thing that was so fucking cool about Belgium is their beer glasses are the shit. Every fucking beer, it's like it has its own goddamn chalice that it puts it in. And it just, I don't know, just psychologically it all tastes better. I bought some chocolates there for my lovely wife. So, I'm going to be on vacation here. All right? But fucking old Billy Fadigan is hitting the gym. I did 45 minutes on the elliptical yesterday, and then went right into town and got myself a large pizza that I ate by myself. And he was laughing at me. Then I had a Coca-Cola with that. What else did I have? Yeah, what else did I? And I had a fucking gelato.
Calamari.
Oh, and I had the calamari. How they said it, right? I'm like, can I get some fried calamari? And the guy goes, calamari. And I'm like, yeah, the way you say it. The way you say it sounds great. The way I say it, just fucking terrible. So that's what I had for lunch. So I should have done 4 hours and 45 minutes on the fucking elliptical. My fucking belly is so goddamn round right now. It's ridiculous. What's hilarious? The Italian fellow there that picked me up at the airport. And by pick me up, I'm just mean he just had a great opening line and I couldn't resist. The taxi guy, he fucking said the funniest shit, was saying how hard he was working during the summer. And he goes, that's why my body, he goes, it's white like the mozzarella. And I was going, I fucking died laughing because I have been called hey, fucking Casper, fucking yardsticks, in golf, chalk legs, all this shit. No one ever said your legs are white like the mozzarella. You know what's funny about mozzarella is it's sweaty too. It's all fucking wet and white. Its only redeeming qualities, it tastes so good. But if it just didn't taste good, you'd just be like, that's just a ball of white slime. And when I'm on the elliptical, I'm like a big red fucking ball of mozzarella.
I said you had legs dipped in flour.
Come here. What did you say?
Remember when I said you had legs dipped in flour?
Yes, I remember all of those. I remember all of them vividly. What are you doing? Are you going to be on the podcast? You're just going to lay there giggling in the background.
Can I do both?
No, you know what it was, Nia? You had that little fucking donut.
Yeah.
That's what put you down on the mat. I fucking hate donuts.
How do you hate donuts?
I like calamari. I like the margarita pizza. The colors of the Italian flag, Nene.
You think that was it? It was so little. It was like, it wasn't even a real size donut. It wasn't even the size of a Munchkin from Dunkin'.
Yeah, it was.
It was smaller than that.
It was the exact size of that.
No.
And you eat one of those.
It was smaller than a Munchkin.
This is why I don't like donuts. Okay? Most of them stink, like that one. That one was not good.
I thought it was good.
All right. Well, okay. Hey, fair enough. All right, but you eat one of those and your body just goes, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's the ultimate what the fuck food. It's sifting through it. Where's the nourishment? It's nothing. Nene, I'm eating pizza and calamari.
Yeah.
You know, even that shit makes you... The calamari. That was fucking light.
Yes, it was.
Even though it was bad for you and all that shit. But I fucking don't... At least there's some sort of protein in there. Somewhere in there there's a fucking squid. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's squid.
Squid, yeah.
Fried squid.
All right. So once you get past the batter and all that shit, in there is something that has some sort of nutrition. Eat a fucking donut. It's just like...
No, it's all sugar.
And dough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I eat one of those and I feel like I
was up early, though, too. I was up earlier than you, so I feel like...
Oh, I know. I realize that. This whole fucking vacation. I finally get to sleep. I haven't slept in like 10 days.
Okay.
Because, you know, I was going from country to country, and then I was also drinking like fucking Nick Nolte in 48 hours. Did he drink, or he just sound like a drunk? So I wasn't getting a lot of sleep. So now I'm catching up on all that. Yeah, how about that fucking guy with the fucking, not only the Brazilian cut bathing suit, he had the Brazilian flag on his fucking left butt cheek. And he was just strutting back and forth. When we were in the little fucking claustrophobic fucking fishing village, by the way, it's like you just walk down this street, and it just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And anyways, it finally opens up when you get down by the ocean. So we went to this pizza place. We're sitting there, and you know, people going by on the boardwalk. How many times did that guy walk by?
At least 5.
5 fucking times.
Back
and forth. Then he found this woman, and I'm like, oh, he was looking for her. And then he came walking back 2 seconds later without her. I was like, what is this guy doing?
He was strutting around like a Brazilian peacock is what he was doing.
He was. Those little fucking Freddie Mercury underwear on. Hey, Brazilian butt cheek. We're trying to eat over here.
A lot of Speedos. You know, we're in Italy.
Ciao.
There's a lot of Speedos.
Ciao, Bella. Ciao. All right. You know, speaking of which, oh fuck! I forgot. Guess who I ran into?
What?
Guess who I fucking ran into?
Oh.
So I fucking, I'm in Belgium, and I'm going up the stairs, and of course my fucking key doesn't work, and I go on this big, long, fucking, stupid fucking technology. How the fuck is this making fucking easier? Remember you just had a key? If a cell phone touches a key, the fucking key still works, man. I was just being such a fucking baby. And then I went down there, and it turned out I had the wrong key.
Uh-huh.
Because this other key was for something else in there. But then still, it's just like, you know, what the fuck? You know, just give me one fucking key, you assholes, right? So I turn around, and I'm walking, and this fucking guy stands up. He's got the 80s rock star fucking hair. He's in great shape. And I just looked at him, and I go, I just looked at him, I go, are you Tommy Aldridge? And he goes, yeah. And I was just like, and I literally yelled. I was like, I had normal voice. I go, you Tommy Aldridge? And he goes, yeah. And then I just go, no way! in the fucking lobby. I go, no way! And I was like, dude, I got all your DVDs. I was trying to say I actually have his drum instructional fucking, I have it on VHS tape. I have it for the VCR. I could see it in his face. He was just going, oh no, this person's crazy.
Right.
How am I going to get out of this? And I just stuck my hand out. I just said, hey man, thanks for all you, I just said, thanks for all your great drumming over the years. And as he was walking away, he just said, thanks. That's what just reminded me of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Simple. Thank you. Keep it moving.
Yeah. So it was actually, I want to say, I mean, I'm prejudiced here. I think it was a good fan interaction with him.
Yes.
For him. I didn't ask him for an autograph.
No,
I just shook his hand. Right? Plus, who flips out when they see a drummer? Other drummers.
Right. Okay.
Dude, this guy played with fucking Ozzy. He played in Whitesnake. He played in like every fucking band that I listened to coming up.
Whitesnake. I always like. What was their big hit? Are they? No, that's Poison.
Everybody liked Here I Go Again.
Yes.
No.
Going down the only road I've ever known.
That's how he sings it now. When you went down, it's ever known. He goes up.
Oh, okay.
Ever known.
What was that? What was that song that when we were watching VH1 Classic? I don't believe in love.
Keep going.
I never have. I never will.
You kill the will, because that's the way he does it. That was.
I don't believe in love. I never have. I never will.
Oh, he put so much emotion in it. That was Queensryche. Queensryche.
Queensryche?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. There was like
Reich, like R-E-I-C-H?
not like the Third Reich.
Not like Third Reich.
I think more like Middle Earth. They were more like
Oh.
I don't know. I don't fucking understand science fiction, but I do know this. There was like two types of heavy metal bands.
Fantasy.
There was like the people who were just like, hey man, like let's get some booze and fuck some strippers, right? Like Motley Crue. There was Poison and all of those guys. Not saying, I'm not lumping them all together. I'm just saying there was the party fucking bands.
Right.
And then there was the ones that were more like into issues. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
With like, Chernobyl.
Is that an actual song?
Chernobyl will. Like, I was trying to think of something that
Who sang?
Somebody-
Pour some sugar on me. Def Leppard.
that was Def Leppard.
Yeah.
That was Def Leppard when they became a pop band.
Who sings She's My Cherry Pie?
That was there was another one of the white bands. That was not White
They were
Snake.
all white.
It was not.
Oh,
not
you mean the...
yeah.
You mean the
It wasn't
name of
White
it.
Snake. It wasn't White Line. Oh, that wasn't. What the fuck was their name?
She's my cherry pie.
Warrant. Oh, it was a W one.
Warrants.
Warrant. Yeah, but no, those were the W bands. Then there was Warrant. There was Winger. And there was
White
some-
Snake.
No, those were all the white bands. White Snake, White Lion, Great White. It always happens. It's like in the '60s. There was the Beatles, the Animals, the fucking Rascals. Everything became the Monkeys. It was all animal names. And then the early 2000s, it was all numbers, right? Late '90s, Matchbox 20, 3 Mary 4,
Wait, so the Monkeys...
2 If I Land.
Were they
1
supposed
If
to
I
be
Land.
a satirized Beatles? What was the deal with the Monkeys? They were like a manufactured band, right?
Yep.
But were they meant to be
Then
some
I
sort
saw
of...
her face,
And I'm a believer.
left without a trace. Left the out of my mind. I'm in love.
I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her.
All right, sorry. This is becoming like a slumber party. Let me read the. Not everybody's on vacation right now, Nia, so this is not going to be cute for long. The thing that stopped me from being a great drummer, Nia, was time. I didn't have the time, and I didn't have the God-given gift.
That's a big one.
I had to end on the big one. I did not have the gift, and I thought if I just kept working at it, I would somehow work my way into having the gift.
Do you see yourself... Wait, can I just ask you, do you see yourself in your 70s like doing comedy in Vegas somewhere and kind of doing like a Don Rickles type of situation, but then maybe you get behind the drums and sort of do like a musical comedy thing?
Oh, God.
And it's like...
Oh, God.
But it's charming because you're old.
That would be so pathetic. No. Yeah, but it would be all the music I listen to. Welcome to the jungle.
And you're wearing like a little tuxedo?
No, and then I'd have all the young hotties singing, going,
Right.
Bill's got fun and games, and then they come over, and they'd fucking pat my bald head. Oh, he's so adorable. Nia, I would kill myself. I would jump off the welcome to Vegas sign. I'm saying that now as a 48-year-old. Who knows?
Yeah, but don't you see, like, moving into your 70s, 80s, doing like a month or so residency. We can move to Vegas for a couple months.
Yeah, this is like the saddest scenario ever.
Why? They would pay you a good amount of money. Why is that sad? You think you're going to be going on tour in your 70s? You think you're going to be on the road like you are now?
No, I think I'm going to save my fucking money so I don't have to. The only reason I'll be on the fucking road in my 70s is if I still want to be. If I still felt like I had something to say. But
you're
I'm going to be in my fucking 80s like, what's up with... I don't know, what's up with these computers? I'll still be bitching about the same shit.
But I know you're going to still want to do comedy. But
I love making people laugh, and if I do it on a much smaller scale, I'm fine with that. But I'm not going to make a fucking ass of myself and have some luau-themed fucking comedy show. Oh, please tell me you'll drag me off stage before I do that. The day I show up and I'm in drag and I have like the coconuts over my fake titties.
Caesar's Palace presents Bill Burr.
Oh God, that would be a nightmare.
No, we could live in this. We could live in a suite at Caesar's for like 2 months, and you do your, classic comedy, telling jokes from the 2020.
Well, that's the thing. You can't do classic comedy. You can't go out like I saw Don Rickles and Tony Orlando opened up. And he was playing, knock 3 times on the ceiling. And I remember that fucking year. You're like psyched. Mm-hmm. You're psyched, but like no one's psyched to hear a joke again that they already heard. They just go away. I can't be like, all right, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a president a long time ago. He stuck a cigar in the car. Monica Lewinsky. They remember. And then you just start doing all that, and then I do like a medley of styles that all influenced me. I do the Eddie Murphy laugh, the Sam Kinison yell, the Seinfeld why, as the band plays underneath it.
Yeah, exactly.
Comedy and music have a lot of similarities. There's a rhythm, isn't there, Johnny? And I'm wearing Hawaiian shirts because I'm crazy. What's he gonna say next?
Yeah, but you're not gonna want to just rest on your laurels, even in your 70s. You're gonna still want to go out. So I'm just thinking about.
I'm gonna rest on my ass. That's white like the mozzarella.
Like the mozzarella.
Right, mozzarella. No, I don't get the concept of retiring. Like, if you retire, I would feel useless, and I would just be like, I'm going to die in about 10 days. I would be one of those people. If I retired, I would be dead in a week, because I'd just be like, it's over. I'm useless. Why am I still here? And I would go into an unbelievable depression.
That's what I mean. So you still have to work, but you have to work in a capacity in which someone wants to see a 70-year-old comedian. And the place where people would want to see and pay to see a 70-year-old comedian is Las Vegas. Let's be real. Or you could have a few nights run at a theater in New York, maybe. But it's not like you're going to be going to all the comedy clubs like you're doing now, which is fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. All of that is really frightening. I can tell you that.
I don't mean to frighten you.
Well, the end, that's the end of your fucking life. It's just the end.
I'll be there with you. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I picture my 70s and 80s. I definitely am wearing slippers, and I'm just putzing around the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, God willing, the house is paid for. I still have a nice car, right?
Probably.
The lucky thing that I have being a comedian is people always want to laugh. And I think that's the reason why not only has it survived all of these new technologies, it actually thrives because,
what's the main shit that you watch on the internet? You want to fucking laugh or jerk off to something. That's the two big things. And comedy it fits. You know, joke can be really quick. Guy walks into a bar. He says blah blah blah. The guy says blah blah blah, and done. You get the fucking laugh. And these kids with their fucking squirrel-like attention spans, it works. So I don't know how long it works at this fucking level. But I don't know. Yeah, all that shit's fucking scary to me. My wife is a gremlin. Hey, Billy Bongos.
What?
My wife of just over a year is adorable and everybody loves her. Most days she is a hardworking, level-headed human. I consider myself to have similar characteristics and through hard work have become quite successful. Because of this success, we have afforded to become somewhat of a socialite couple. We attend several parties and events on a monthly basis. This all sounds like the beginning of Boogie Nights, doesn't it? And then she starts doing blow. Next thing you know, she's getting banged in the driveway. She's just sitting there going, what the fuck's going on?
That's nothing like Boogie Nights.
Oh. We attend several
How is
parties.
that Boogie Nights?
I don't know. That's what I'm picturing. Because they're a socialite couple, then they're going to get into the cocaine couple thing.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, I think I see where you're going with this.
All right. So we attend several parties and events on a monthly basis. Normally all goes well, and we go to bed happy and peaceful. But every now and then, my adorable wife turns evil. I already picture her catching him looking at the fucking hotties. You go to a socialite party, you're testing the limits of your fucking relationship. That's when you say, they did a bad thing, right? You're stuck in one of those fucking eyes wide shut parties. Yeah, that's what you're doing. Yeah, all of those fucking people. They look at like women, they're like objects and shit, and it's just like they give the old flick of the eyebrow, meaning, hey, you want to fuck mine and I'll fuck yours? I've never been to one of these parties, but that's what I think. That's what I think goes down. All right.
You want to fuck mine
and I'll fuck yours? Well, we both just watch them go down on each other as we discuss stocks. All right. Normally all goes well, and we go to bed happy and peaceful. But every now and then, my adorable wife turns evil. It's a little like the movie Gremlins. I've narrowed it down. If she's boozed, hungry, and tired after midnight, she turns into a Class A cunt. Jesus. She's mean to me, but what is worse is she says evil things about others to me. The result is I am the only person that gets to see and hear this gremlin in action, and it makes me crazy. Makes me want to buy her a pair of cement shoes and a boat. Kidding, I think.
Okay, Eminem.
So, what do? We have talked about it several times the next day with Levelhead, but Gizmo continues to turn from time to time. Do I start carrying granola? I was just going to say, I'd have a sandwich in my back pocket. Do I start carrying granola bars and a 5-hour energies in my pockets? Like, what is that word?
Like an EpiPen.
What is that?
That's for people who have allergies.
Oh, for nut allergies? Yeah. Or do I cut off for booze in general? The lovely Nia have any input? Bring your A game to Gainesville. Until then, go fuck yourself. All right. Sorry, I was just reading that last little bit he had there. What would I do? I don't know. I would. Yeah, I think I would just start bringing snacks, and I would start calling her the gremlin. What's the word you use?
Or just when she starts getting into that zone,
Gizmo.
Just being like, "Hey, Gizmo, why don't you take it down a notch?"
Yeah, exactly. I would literally feed her like a rabid dog. You know, if a rabid dog ever came running at you, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to throw a raw steak at him, right? Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Are you supposed to have a raw steak on you at all times?
No, that's a black guy. If you get a black guy, you put a raw steak on
I thought you said black guy at first.
Oh, for a black guy.
What?
Yeah. If a black guy comes at you, you just throw a raw steak.
I was like, what the fuck? Black eye.
Wouldn't that be great if everybody was a meat eater and they liked it rare? Then you wouldn't have to cook it, and you just walk around. I'm going to the store, and you just had steaks with you. If there was any fucking problems, sir, would you like to sign up for this cell phone? You just fucking throw it, and they would just run away.
Cost you too much money, though. All right, I thought there was some comedy there. There wasn't.
You can't cut off her booze unless you just decide to not go to these events with her. Or make sure you guys have a nice dinner before you go out.
I would just break her balls the entire time over there. Be like, so, what do you think? What do you think? When are you turning into Gizmo tonight? Around 11:30 or 11:45?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gizmo, look at you, going crazy.
Gizmo.
Your teeth are all pointy now. What's going on with you? I watched a bunch of Billy Squier videos. I don't know how I got into that, but I was sipping a little Johnny Walker Black over there. And I was thinking, I don't know, I was just watching all these drum videos. I was going down that little fucking rabbit hole there. Mm-hmm. And then I just was watching this Billy Squier shit, like, live in Detroit. That guy was such a fucking rock star. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand. And everybody always talks, he made this one video, and everybody always talks about, that ended his fucking career. It was like, that thing came out in the fucking 80s. It was so in the 80s, like, that nobody noticed. Most of the videos from that time did not stand the test of time. You know what I mean? But I hate when people try to go like, oh, like in the moment when that video came out, everybody said to hell with Billy Squier. That's not what happened. He just didn't have any more hits after that. But even like, I actually read a quote. Martha Quinn was going, I remember that video came out. I don't remember an adverse reaction to it. She goes, I thought it was kind of cute. Which is not what you want to say. But basically now you look at, he's got like this pastel fucking shirt on, and he's just sort of stomping around fucking wrecking this apartment. It's really bad.
If that's the case, though, wouldn't like most rock videos in the 80s be like ripped to shreds?
Oh my God, yeah. Well,
maybe they are. I don't know.
They're horrible.
Wait.
Everybody, the synchronized fucking dancing, licking your bass, fucking everybody doing that thing like they were fucking eating pussy, doing that thing. Steve Vai with his fucking double neck guitar, and he's sitting there like acting like he's fucking the guitar.
What's your
when he's playing?
What's your favorite rock video from the 80s? I have one. It's Money for Nothing. The animation. No.
Oh, yeah.
That one? Yeah. No. But that's number 2. The first one is Take On Me by A-ha. But they weren't a rock band. Were they more pop? Were they considered pop?
Yeah, but yeah. That was...
In any Robert Palmer video with all the chicks.
Take on me.
Take on me.
Like me.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. And any Robert Palmer video with the half dozen chicks with the same body type and the black slick back hair and the red lips.
And the big titties. I got to be honest with you. That video, those chicks did nothing for me. Everybody was like, oh, my God, those chicks are so fucking hot, dude. There's like 6 of them. They're just standing there.
They were all like supermodels. And they like...
yeah, that's why none of them could play an instrument. Fucking...
I know.
Good-looking freaks.
That was really funny how they all just fake playing instruments.
Yeah, and they had that fucking look on their face like they hadn't got enough free drinks that night. I told you, I have major fucking issues with women of that ilk. I respect them. You're gorgeous. You know what I mean? But just like, they're fucking the most boring people ever. The worst fucking interviews ever. You get a fucking model just sitting there. They fucking stink. They just look good. It's just shut up. We just want to look at you. You're like a fucking lamp that somebody wants to fuck. But other than that, you're useless. You're a fucking useless person. So I like the fucking whoas.
Oh, God.
I always like the whoas. I like the
the slutty party girls.
Those chicks.
Those are the good looking girls you like.
Yeah, they look like they were fun. Like if you showed up with like a 12 of fucking Budweisers, they'd fucking drink some with you, and someone was going to get a blowjob. You watch the fucking Robert Palmer video. It's like nobody's getting their dick sucked here.
Yeah, no.
These fucking chicks are so up their own asses. No. They're just, they probably all hated each other.
They're too classy for that. They don't want to go to a dive bar with you.
Oh, yeah, they're too classy for that until Uncle Terry takes their pictures. Then all of a sudden they get in a 3D look at his salt and pepper fucking pubes coming at them. That fucking creep. Dude, anytime you're of a certain age and you start telling younger women to call you Uncle so-and-so and you're not fucking related to him.
He's disgusting.
That's a major... You know the reason why I know about him is because you're into the fashion world.
He's so disgusting.
Yeah, anytime he takes... Terry...
His photographs are played out.
I know.
That whole style is played out.
What's your theme for this one? All right, it's like you're drugged up, but you really want to fuck this old guy.
Do you remember when we went into that bookshop and we saw like the books that he published before he started getting all this fame for like taking pictures of Jared Leto? It's literally him with his dick in some girl's face and him literally coming on a girl. Like those were the whole books of them. Those were his photographs at first.
The only reason why I know who the guy is, the reason why I know who that guy is because of you.
Yeah.
This is the people. Anybody who calls himself uncle is either a fucking pervert or they think everything that they say is fucking amazing. Like Ted Nugent. Just another tip from your Uncle Ted. I got the whole world figured out. He lives in like a tree fort and he shoots bears with arrows and then
like
all of a
sudden or something?
Yeah, and all of a sudden he knows how the world should work. I just don't understand, you know.
Isn't he like he's like a big conservative gun nut. Do you need some water? What's going on over there?
Nah, I'm fine.
All right.
I'm just clearing my throat. I pulled the fucking thing away.
Let me clear my throat.
Ted Nugent, I respect anybody that knows how to fucking hunt. Anybody knows how to hunt. Everybody knows like guns and shit. I think that's a really cool thing.
I feel like does he hunt? He hunts for food, or does he kill a bear to put it on his living room floor? Both.
I have no idea. You'd have to ask him why he hunts, but I know he knows how to do it. I think that's a cool thing, and like, you know, and he's a responsible gun owner. He has a gun. He doesn't go around shooting people. But if you go into his house, he's gonna blow your fucking head off. I mean, that's there you go.
There you go.
That totally makes sense to me. But just because I agree with that doesn't mean I need to listen to you and your fucking... I'll listen to your thoughts about our foreign policy with fucking whatever you want to do, but you can't deliver it in this fucking way. That's another tip from your Uncle Bill.
Uncle Bill.
I don't know. All right, can women go to bachelor parties? Oh, God, what? What? Is this going to become a thing? All right. Hey, Billy Blue Balls. I'd like your advice on a disagreement my best friend and I are having. He's getting married next fall, and we are very close. We've been great friends since college, and we are so close that him and his fiancée just asked me to officiate their wedding. The disagreement is about whether I should be able to go to his bachelor party in Vegas. I'm a woman, but because he's my best friend, I think I should be able to go. He wants the bachelor party to be men only, and I understand this to a point, but at the same time, by virtue of how close we are, I think I should be able to go. My friend and I are big fans of your podcast and have agreed that if you read this on air, whatever your advice is, we'll take it. So if you don't think that I, the best female friend, should be going to the bachelor party, we'll agree to it. Love the podcast. Hope you come to Boston soon. Thanks, and go fuck yourself. No, you shouldn't, because I thought this was a guy going to be bitching about his male friend that wanted to bring a woman along, and the first thing I was going to say would be like, I don't agree with that, but at the end of the day, it's this person's bachelor party, it's their wedding, so you just gotta, you know, I would just shut up about it, but I would break his balls for the rest of time. Like, this is my best friend. He had a woman at his bachelor party. No, it wasn't a stripper. So I would give the same advice here. This is not your bachelor party, and this is not a time for you to throw a hissy fit and ruin this thing for him. He has the bachelor party the way he wants. I think it's really cool that you guys are best friends and that you're going to... I think it's enough of an honor that he's going to let you speak, you know, as his best man. I mean, that's pretty fucking amazing. Officiate, whatever. Oh, you're going to do the vows?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's going to officiate the wedding.
Oh, all right. Yeah, there you go.
That's huge.
There you go. Yeah, so...
I was... Do you care what I think?
Only if you agree with me.
I agree with you.
And that's why this relationship works.
I totally agree with you.
Okay, my wife.
I can understand why she'd want to go because it's like, hey, I'm your friend, I want to go, but like,
Yeah, just say what you say. Don't stir her fucking brain up again. All right, you shouldn't go.
yes, respect your best friend's wishes and not go because he's gonna want to do some shit. And
Hey,
that
Nia,
he
you
doesn't
don't
feel comfortable
get
with
extra
you
credit.
be-
You don't get extra credit for saying what you already said.
Fine.
All right. Every once in a while, to me, and I kiss you. All right.